Okay, hello YouTube. Once again, this is West Tex Horror, and I'm gonna keep showcasing another book that I have. This one is called Essential Horror Movies: Matinee Monsters to Cult Classics by Michael Mallory Universe. So here's the spine. Matinee Monsters to Cult Classics. Here's the back. Well, this is obviously the dust jacket. Flip it around. This was maybe a year or so back. I picked this up a couple years or so. Essential Horror Movies. And let's just look at the hardcover, which is there, and the spine. I'm not sure exactly what's in the back of this one. Watch this. I love the artwork on these books, are awesome. It's a nice hardcover. Now this one was published in 2015, so just a couple years before the art of horror movies. And I didn't showcase the back of the cover on this one, but that's the back of the hardcover. The art of horror movies, published in 2017. Okay, now back to this one, 2015, Essential Horror Movies. You got Exorcist and American Werewolf in London, I think. Look at that, it's awesome. Now, this is a little bit bigger book in size than the other. I don't have any bookshelves at the moment, getting those possibly made or ordered, but I know I gotta make them over 12 inches, so these, at least these two big ones can fit. I might have another, or one or two more of these bigger size books, but I have an idea. Where's my remote? Look at that artwork. So there's a prologue, The Essence of Horror, 220 pages. There's like about 8 chapters or 10 chapters or so. Silent Horror, Golden Era of Horror, The Color of Horror, Euro. Chapter 5 is Drive-In Horror. Chapter 6, Horror in the Mainstream. Chapter 7, Psycho Slasher. Chapter 8, Creatures, Demons, and Evil Spirits. Then there's Future of Horror, and 50 additional horror films worth seeing. 220 pages. We're just gonna kind of look to go shot from the Nightmare on Elm Street film. Or I better not be the freaking remake, but no, it's not. It is Robert Englund. Prologue, The Essence of Horror. That's cool. Silent Horror. Dr. Caligari. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. 1920. This is going to go by the years as well. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. $1920. I still need to get that. I haven't seen it. Or this one above. Oh, that's another page, sorry. The Golem, How He Came Into the World, 1920. There's Criterion releases of this as well. I haven't picked it up, but I need to. Classics. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, 1920. There's the Golem from Universal. We'll just keep going. John Barrymore makeup was Dr. Hyde. Included her fingers, which she can be seen flying out of his own fingers in some shots. Something wrong with this page. Oh, it's like a printing error on this page. That's really weird. I just noticed that. Okay. Hexon, aka The Witchcraft Through the Ages, 1922. Another from Criterion release, and I still haven't got it. I think you can see it online for free, but that looks awesome. Look at this. Oh man, that's freaking weird. What year was it? 1922? Bro, it's creepy. Very creepy and cool. Nosferatu, Symphony of Horror, 1922. Max Schreck as Graf Count Orlok. Waxworks, 1924. Sure. The Phantom of the Opera, 1925. The Cat and the Canary, 1927. Okay, sorry. I want to keep it moving. Spotlight. So this is like a spotlight type deal. The Monster Makers, 1920 to 1960. Bud Westmore with the Gillman mask from the Creature of the Black Lagoon, 1954. And then this one is Christopher Relief for the Curse of Frankenstein, 1957. It's cool. Very informative too. A behind the scene picture photograph of these very classic films. It's awesome. So chapter 2, the Golden Era Horror. I'm trying to get the most I can on these pages, guys. Bear with me. Dracula, 1931. Okay. Alright. Frankenstein's monster. Influenced by the Golem. 1920. Freaks. Is that Tar Browning's Freaks, 1932. I think Criterion just released this a couple years ago or last year. I believe so. I believe the others as well. I need to pick up the others, but there's Freaks. I need to pick this up. Let's watch that film. Island of Lost Souls, 1932. Wow, look at that. Vampire, 1932. White Zombie, 1932. Better go see. White Zombie. Mad Love, 1935. I've never heard of that one. Bride of Frankenstein, 35. This is a good one. Good stuff. I've seen these movies once, a couple of times, so I don't not too much in them, but I have seen them. The Wolfman, 1941. This, I think I've seen the movie. I haven't finished the Wolfman. Not this one. Cat People, 1942. Dead of Night, 1945. This one here. A Beast with Five Fingers, 1946. Now these, like I said, are titles I haven't really heard of, and it'd be cool. Maybe, you know, check them off the list and find them and watch them. Good stuff. Informative book here. So here's another spotlight. Now this is psychological horror spotlight. So there's like maybe a couple pages showing psychological horror. Where's that one? Where's that one? The Leopard Man, and then I Walk with the Zombie. And then Boris Karloff, Body Snatchers. Chapter 3, the color horror. So now color. 1960s, House of Wax, 1953. That's cool. 3D dimension. 3D. It comes off the screen right at you. It's cool. Oh, there it is. Get surprised, gets burned up, and it's worth. That's that one right there. Cool. Curse of Frankenstein, 1957. Peter Cushing. It's all color now, so you get to see Frankenstein in color. Horror of Dracula, 1958. Peter Cushing. The Mummy, 1959. Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing. Peeping Tom, 1960. I think the film that kind of ruined the director's career. That there's a Criterion release of this film. I need to watch it. Peeping Tom, 1960. That was ahead of his time. The Pit in the Pendulum, 1961. Dr. Terror's House of Horrors, 1965. Now you'll find a few recommendations. This book from the other book. This being one of them, but there's obviously I recommend a lot of good ones, so obviously they would have the same. Spotlight, Brit Horror. What is this? Ursula and the Hammer, Blood of the Vampire, 1958. Peter Cushing. What else we got? Good thick pages and nice glossy pictures. I do like this. Good quality. Chapter 4, Euro Horror. Night of the Demon, aka Curse of the Demon, 1957. I need to get this too. And these are like a lot of Criterion releases that I have. These I need to pick them up. Eyes Without a Face, aka The Horror Chamber of Dr. Faustus, 1960. Eyes Without a Face. The inspiration for John Carpenter. I think he said in an interview or so. For the mask, faceless mask of Michael Myers' Halloween mask. So it's the inspiration of this film, Eyes Without a Face, 1960s. I believe it's French horror. Middle of the Stone Woman, 1960. I'm not too sure what that is. Black Sunday, aka The Mask of Satan, Mario Bava. Cool. 1960. Black Sabbath, 1963. I'm trying to get every page. Freddy's Vampire Killers. That's crazy. Look at that head. 1967. Roman Polanski, Jack McGowan, Freddy's Vampire Killers. Is it Polanski? I'm not sure. There's stars in it. Mark of the Wolfman, aka Frankenstein's Bloody Terror, 1960. Both great titles. Suspiria, 1977. Dario Argento. Masterpiece. Spotlight again. J-horror, another great genre of one of my personal favorites as well. Or I don't know much of it, but I do like to dive into it. I do like some J-horror. The Grudge, The Grudge 2, 2006. Quaidon, Frankenstein Conquers the World, crazy. Chapter 5, Drive-In Horror. Reanimator. I Was a Teenage Werewolf, 1957. Drive-In Horror. Okay. I Was a Teenage Frankenstein, 1957. Blood of Dracula. House on Haunted Hill, 1959. Little Shop of Horror, 1960. 1986 movie. Was a good one. Carnival of Souls, 1962. Night of the Living Dead, 68. Good stuff. I'm gonna see Carnival of Souls. There it is, George Romero's masterpiece here. You can be boss down there, I'm boss up here. Something like that. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. 1974. Should be one word. Good stuff there. Toby Hooper. Phantasm. Coscarelli, 1979. And I need to see these films. I'm not sure if I remember watching The Phantasm. I need to watch it. Of course, Evil Dead, Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, 1981. Return of the Living Dead, great one here, 1985. Awesome stuff. There's stills of the film. Brains. Reanimator, 85. What is this? I'm getting 2 pages. Sorry. Oh, Spotlight Horror. Horror at Home. Trilogy of Terror. It was HBO or something, I'm not sure. Or CBS. That's HBO for sure. Tales from the Crypt. Saturdays at 10. Saturday nights at 10. We didn't have HBO at our household when I was little, but we had a friend down the street, and when we spent the night on Saturdays, which we didn't do often, yeah, that's the first time I can remember watching Tales from the Crypt episodes. Crazy stuff. Good times. Number 6, horror in the mainstream. Exorcist. Probably gonna be Jaws, maybe. The Fly, 1958. There's the 80s version. 86. Cronenberg. Psycho, 1960. Mother. The Birds, 1963. Alfred Hitchcock. The Haunting, 1963. Rosemary's Babies, Polanski, 1968. Of Mia Farrow. The Exorcist, 1973. Man. My top number 1 horror movie of all time is The Exorcist. I do remember I was in high school, maybe 16 or 17, when the re-release was at theaters again. My dad picked me up, or it was half day, I remember, of high school. I know I was still in school, and it was when that re-release came, I think in 99 or 2000. Went to watch it at the mall, at the theaters, and it was in the daytime, maybe 12 or 1. No one was there. A great experience because we freaked ourselves out a couple times. We heard like the chair moving up front when we were the only 2 there. Great stuff, but I always remember that memory. We did see it at the theaters, at the re-release. It was good. Yeah, The Exorcist. Jaws, 1975. Yeah, me and my pops, man. Good memory for that. 1970. Yeah, Jaws, of course. It's the Spielberg. Put him on the map with that movie. The Omen, 1976. Alien, 1979. The Shining, 1980. Great scene. Silence of the Lambs, 91. Spotlight, The Monster Makers, 1962, today. Rick Baker and Tom Savini. Chapter 7, Psycho Slasher Horror. My favorite, and my favorite franchise, me personally. Nightmare on Elm Street. Last House on the Left, and Wes Craven's one of my favorite directors. 72, another Craven, or his first film right there. His first film, Wes Craven. Carrie, 1976, Brian De Palma. The first adaptation from Stephen King. Good stuff there. Sissy Spacek killed it in this film. Halloween, 1978. Where's John Carpenter? Masterpiece there. Friday the 13th, 1980. In Cunningham. Good film there. Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. Good stuff there. Heather Langenkamp. And Child's Play, 1988. There's a couple of Bride of Frankenstein, or Bride of Chucky, excuse me. Yep. What else we got? Let's see if I can Candyman 1992. Great score, great setting there, like real settings. In the concrete jungle. Good film. Crazy, man. Good stuff there. Rest in peace. Rest in peace to a lot of legendary actors and directors here. Tony Todd as Candyman. Scream, of course. Iconic. Drew Barrymore. Good stuff. I went to the theaters, 96. I was 13, so one of my favorite franchises still. Saw, of course. Billy the Puppet. Spotlight, torture porn. Well, here we go. Thanks to Hostel, I believe, but yeah. Hostel, 2005. That was a crazy one. Watched that with my high school buddies. Yep, CDA, Devil's Rejects. Maniac, 1980. Chapter 8, Creatures, Demons, and Evil Spirits. Amityville Horror, 79. An American Werewolf in London, 81. Look at that. Freak. Look at this. Poltergeist, 1982. Toby Hooper, Steven Spielberg production. It's a Toby Hooper film. Yep. Poltergeist. Real life skeletons. Gremlins, 1984. Joe Dante. Good stuff there. Hellraiser. Those Gremlins. I grew up with part 2, but part 1's, of course, the OG. But I grew up with Gremlins and New Batch. Phantasm. Hellraiser. The Blair Witch Project, 99. Went to theaters. Yeah. I was 16. Good stuff. Love it. Paranormal Activity. Good stuff too. The Future of Horror. That's from Zombieland. Fucking clown. Oh yeah, Horns. Adaptation from Joe Hill, which is Stephen King's son. 5th edition of horror films worth seeing. So there you go. There's even more right there. Paranormal, cool stuff. Cool. So that's it, guys. This is another good, informative book. Very good, thick, glossy pages, quality pages. I feel like poster material, to be quite honest. Cabin Fever, very thick. Paranorman. That's the last one there. Oh, almost dropped the phone. Yeah, that was it, guys. There's more pictures there. But yeah, this was Essential Horror Movies. You guys could pick it up, and it's a good book to check out. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one.